Good morning. It's 9:19 in the morning. It's Friday, December 29. Hoy es el viernes 29 de diciembre de 2023. First of all, I want to talk about post-honor degrees, post-honor doctorate degrees, Ph.D s. Remember, Albert Einstein, my uncle, had 84 of them, Ph.D s. My brother Jack Brandon Schlossberg Kennedy currently holds first place with 88 post-honor doctorate degrees, 88 PhDs. I hold and tie first place with 88 post-honor doctorate degrees. And with this one more person, John Henry Eisenman, holds first place tied with us at 88 post-honor doctorate degrees, 88 PhDs. So congratulations to all three of us on the most PhDs ever in history. Alright, one PhD I want to talk about is cigarettes don't cause cancer, which I figured out and I have proof. Tony and Brian manipulated the pharmacies, including first was CVS, then Dwayne Reed and Walgreens follow, and then many other pharmacies to not sell cigarettes because of cancer and because it's not safe. It's not safe. They sell stuff to remediate your diseases and fix when you're sick and everything. So why sell something that's so lethal to you? It was not that. Well, I know what reason this is true. Because people sometimes buy something for somebody, or they buy something and they need to buy cigarettes, so they won't exchange an item in order to buy cigarettes. It's because they saw that people exchange items to buy cigarettes, like body wash or medicine, a big thing of aspirin or Tylenol, or a big large box of Kotex, or anything worth over $10-$20 to exchange it for a cigarette or tobacco product. That's the main reason why they banned cigarettes from, and it's one of the second biggest money maker of pharmacies. All right, so from there we're gonna go on to a couple of things. So this is gonna be a Spanglish 10 minutes. All right. I want to talk about Hector Macho Camacho. This is going to be in Spanish. And in English. It's going to be English. Hector Macho Camacho supposedly fought 4 fights in boxing. The first one, look at these dates. December 8th. December 8th. Everybody knows December 8th and what it meant to me. And 1985. Then the next one is January 23, 1986. His mom's birthday. Then the next one is June 8th. We know who June 8th, 1986. We know about June 8th too, right? And then how about December 7th, 1986? December 7th, 1986. I want to ask Mr. Don King, the master promoter and the master organizer of boxing, someone who has organized and promoted boxing matches since 1960. I met him personally in Isla Verde in Puerto Rico, with Felix Tito Trinidad, and my mom and my dad. He been managing this fight. Mr. Don King, who is 99 years old today. How much did he pay for the Leonard fight against Muhammad Ali in Manila, Philippines? He paid Ray Leonard, $12,500 United States dollars currency, and Muhammad Ali, $10,000. Why in 1985? This happened in 1961, 1962. Sorry. 13 years later, why did Hector Macho Camacho only got paid $2,500 for each fight? The 85 fight, the 86 fight, and the 386 fights. The year I was born. And then 1985, Mr. Don King, right? You pay the shittiest boxer a minimum of $10,000 to fight in 1985. And you know it's true, Mr. Don King. And I know you have Twitter. And the photo that he has with the little curly hair and everything. I know where he got it done, on 222 Southern Boulevard. The guy that does the confirmation and communion pictures for St. John's Christendom and Whole Avenue. It's right now. His new shop is 1003, I think, right in the side of the St. John's Church. That guy could witness to you that man went in 1985 and took those pictures of his beautiful self. So you tell me about Macho Camacho. Alright, Evelyn, Feliciano, this is for you now. Why couldn't you been more like Gloria Vanderbilt? Like Queen Elizabeth, like your grandmother? Or like Miss Laura Vanderbilt? Or like Jacqueline Kennedy or Nancy's? Or like Miss Laura Bush, First Lady Laura Bush? Or like Miss Astor? You're like Miss Astor, who messed up but learned her lesson. The story of Miss Astor was one of the richest families in New York City. Her husband faked her death. Their mansion was where the Empire State Building stands today. I learned this story so long ago. He didn't leave her any money. She never told Mr. Astor or the children that in the year 1905, she had money of an inheritance worth over $1.1 billion at the time, when Mr. Astor was only worth $88 million. Remember, in Central Park South used to be called Millionaires Row. The Carnegies built mansions there, the Vanderbilts built mansions there, the Rockefellers built, it was all mansions before we see what was in front of Central Park as now the big high-rise buildings and the most expensive luxury residences in the United States of America around the world. She thought she was the biggest hotshot. She had the biggest ballroom in Midtown. She invited whoever the hell she was, and then she bossed everybody around. She was the most controlling lady in the world. And then, what's it, the Carnegies, one of the Vanderbilts, one of her kids actually, and she didn't know was married to somebody, and she didn't know it was one of their family. They built a mansion on Millionaires Row, and they built a ballroom larger than hers. And she was pissed off because they invited everybody, all the elites from New York City, and they didn't invite Miss Astor. And she had a fit. And she showed up that night. And she wasn't invited. And Evelyn, you're not invited to anything either. You're Mrs. Astor. Mrs. Astor was a crazy affiliate of the Democrat Party, while everybody else in New York City was a Republican. And Mrs. Astor had a lot of learning to do. She was the first one to die. She was a piece of shit bitch. And you're the same way. She hid her money from her kids and everything. Alright, next on. I'm going to tell you about my experience when I lived in the rental property in New York. My mom sent me on the first time when I announced my run for the 2028 presidential election for president of the United States of America. She sent me to the hospital. To St. Barnabas they sent me. You could ask any physician, any nurse, any witnesses in that emergency room. I cried for 18 hours and 13 minutes in a row. 18 hours and 13 minutes I cried in there. Because I was so hurt. My mother hurt me so much. You're worse than Tony and Brian put together. She's so much potent than a strain of AIDS, a virus of AIDS, or a strain of the most lethal cancer, or a virus that kills instantly. She's the most uneducated, unprepared hospital owner in the world. Every hospital in the history has a college education. Look at, and you get Clark is coming back. That's another thing. Look at how hideous and ugly that bitch is. One of the most beautiful women, the daughter of Elizabeth Taylor and the president of Cuba, Fidel Castro. Some balding, toothless, disformed, one titty, short and stout bitch that has nothing beautiful and that's not beautiful. She's the ugliest person in the world. She's greedy, bossy, nasty, arrogant, obnoxious, malicious, hater, dumb, uncompassionate. This is how it would look. She's a piece of shit bitch. And no one likes that fucking bitch. Westfield hates her. She fucking made my grandparents suffer with her. Yesterday I was crying last night for my grandparents. For Juan and Noelio. You made them suffer so much. You ruined their life and you ruined everybody's life.